Let's hear it one more time for both of these two fighters. So at the beginning of round 5, due to the inability to stop the bleeding, the bout was stopped by referee in charge, or the doctors. And now we go to the judges' scorecards after the 5 rounds. All 3 judges see the same, 40-36 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated from Las Vegas, Nevada, El Feroz, Fernando Vargas.
Órale, Cholo Truck, los tres chingones, boxing shots, all the chingones y chingonas. Man, that right there put this kid on the radar for me, man, because that actually, I actually had Lobito winning that fight, man. So the cool thing about all this is that it puts him on the map, even though the judges saw it another way, but he's got a fight coming up. And I'm very curious if maybe we might get that rematch sometime soon. Let's find out, man. Hey, let's go ahead and bring in, man, the young up-and-comer, Jesse Lobito Gonzalez.
What's up? How's it going?
What's going on, Lobito? How you doing, big dog?
Good. Just getting everything ready for this weekend. Saturday night, ready to throw hands.
Saturday night, man. Okay. First of all, if anybody wants to know who Lobito Gonzalez is, it will be in the comment section. We're not going to go over his entire life again. We went over that the first time I had him on, so I will leave a pin linked in the comment section, so you guys could go ahead and check out, where he's from, how do you get into boxing, and all that good stuff, man. Because here we're just going to get right into it. Okay, so Lobito, man, ever since then, people have, talked about you a little bit. Have you noticed that you're getting a little bit more attention ever since that fight?
Yeah, I've been getting some good fight offers too. Just my manager, my team, we're being smart with what fights we take, and ready to get back in there for this next one. We got I got a good fight. I'm fighting a guy, Brian Flores. I think he's 19-2. He has a good record, so I need that on my resume.
Yeah, well, we'll get into your opponent in a second, man. I've been checking them out. So, I've always said this in boxing. There could be a win in a loss. Of course, everybody wants to win the fight, but we just had, a few weeks ago, we had like this big hype weekend of boxing, yet nobody really won. Yeah, there were technically winners in the fight, but it's like, good gosh, I don't want to see these dudes again, man. I do not want to see these dudes again, right? And then you got this kind of winning in losing. Thus, you got the movie Rocky, right? He lost in the first one, but he won because everybody was like, dude, I want to see this guy again, man. Yeah. That's kind of what I saw from you. And I'm like, I was scratching my head, man. At the time, I didn't know who you were, but I was like, I'm not so sure this kid really lost this fight, nor do I think this fight should have even been stopped. I mean, the cut over Navarrete's eye, I thought was it was somewhere on the same level, but Vargas's cut was not there, man. It wasn't there. I don't think it was really blurring his vision or anything of that sort. But what was happening is that you're coming after him, and you were supposed to lose that fight. And like I said in the first time we talked, you didn't get that memo, my brother. You went in there swinging. So talk to us. Since then, what's it been like since that fight? I know you're supposed to have another fight about 2 months ago. That fell apart. But what's been the journey for you?
So since then, I've just been in the gym, like literally right away. The week after that fight, I was already in the boxing gym, training, staying prepared. I already knew that we were gonna get tough fight offers, which is what we've been getting. This next fight's another tough one, but I like putting on a show, and I'm coming for the win.
Was this the guy that you're supposed to fight 2 months ago, or is it a different opponent?
No, there's a different opponent. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe the last fight I was gonna be fighting some guy from like Fresno. Um,
And that whole card got canceled, correct?
yeah.
And where were you in your training camp for that card, for that fight?
I was already on the week of the fight, maybe a couple days before the weigh-ins, and it got canceled.
You know, man, that's got to be a frustrating position. There's certain fighters that don't have to go through that got a lot of money backing them up, or they have a big name behind them, or their last name, that don't really have to go through that. But talk to us a little bit. What's that like for you, man? Where it's like, you know what? You are like the definition of you got to stay ready, because when the
Yeah.
phone happens, it says like, hey, can you be ready this Saturday to fight? It's like, you can't say no. You got to take every opportunity. What's that like? Because there's some fighters that don't have to go through that, man. There's some fighters, like I said, they got money backing them up, or they got a last name, or they got something. You're not one of those guys.
Yeah.
One of those guys, that phone rings and they offer you a fight, regardless if it's 40 hours, 30 hours before the fight, you pretty much have to say yes. What's that like?
It feels good. Just keeping the crowd around me small, and also the people around me. They some people call me like a people's champ a little bit,
Mm.
and I kind of I feel good with that, because a lot of these guys that have the last name, a lot of money like that, they never worked a job in their life. I'm working a job and also training, and then having to cut weight and go through a whole training camp still working. Um, that's that's a lot of these guys that are like with the last name and all that, they don't got that.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I mean, it's got to be rough, where it's just like at any time the phone can ring and it's like, okay, we got to fight this weekend,
Yeah.
whether, so just staying ready. So let's talk to me a little bit about that. Where we get into your opponent and your fight coming up this Saturday, but talk to me a little bit about that. Is your whole life like just a training camp? I mean, do you treat yourself like you're in training camp the entire time, just in case the phone rings? Do you kind of tone it down a little bit? How do you keep yourself ready? I mean, that's got to be that's got to be tough, man. I mean, if you're treating your whole life just like a training
Yeah.
camp, because you can't say no when the phone rings, man. So how is that?
Well, for me, after a fight, I still I like staying in the gym. I just like the gym environment. If I'm not training in the boxing gym, I'm in the other gym, like either lifting weights or running, that type of stuff. I just like being in the gym, and then um I just I know I'm not a A-side fighter right now, so I have to get one of these tough fights and get a win on them, and that's gonna turn me into one of those A-side fighters, or get taken care of a little better.
You know what, man? You may not be an A-side fighter, but you're an exciting fighter, and I there's definitely value in that, man. When you get exciting fighters, guys that really bring it and want to fight. I mean, like I said, not to throw too much out there to some of that big weekend that we just had like 2 weeks ago, but good gosh, man, it was very tough to watch, and I thought that was probably one of the worst things for boxing. So much
Yeah.
money behind it, a lot of dancing around, a lot of moving around, no action, nothing going down. It's like, son of a bastard, man. All right, so let's talk about your fight coming up. It's promoted by Marv Nation. It will be on the zone. Start time 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. You're going up against Brian Flores. Now, Brian Flores, you have what, 11 fights, I believe it is
Yes.
total. Okay, Brian Flores has 21 fights, man. So he has about double the fights that you have. So he's got some experience on there. He's fought for 103 rounds under his belt. I believe you have somewhere around 50 rounds, professional rounds under your belt. So where's your mind at when you think about, like, okay, this guy, he's more experienced. He's definitely, you got about half the professional
Yeah.
experience that he does. How do you prepare for that, man? What's you and your team doing?
Well, first we're training hard, but also staying mentally sharp. I've been in the ring with champions before, sparring. I've been sparring partners with champions too. Um, just training hard every day, staying mentally sharp, and not being scared of no one. Because either way, in the future, I'm gonna still have to fight all these guys. And I, if you look at like the guys I've fought in undefeated guys back to back. So this is another big opportunity for me to flip it around and get a little more taken care of.
Without putting your game plan out there, I was looking at Brian Flores, your opponent. He hasn't been active, man. He has been inactive for quite a few years. He may have more experience, but does that give you a little bit of an edge? Like, okay, you know what? Maybe if I stay on this guy, I don't want him to get too comfortable. I don't want him to, get his groove back in the ring. Is there something there that you guys are working on? I mean, you don't have to put out too much. It's your game
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, most definitely. I think if you take a good amount of time off, I think when you go back into the ring, it's not going to be the same as if you were like if you fought maybe a couple months ago. But uh, I'm ready. I'm just sticking to my plan, and we're just going in for the kill.
How how is it for you before a fight? You got the weigh-ins tomorrow. We'll
Yeah.
get to your weight in a second. But how is it for you knowing that, okay, it's here? Like, waiting time is pretty much done. Are you excited? Do you have trouble sleeping? Do you just want to be there? Like, do you relax? What's it like for you, man?
For me, I relax all the way until the fight. Even in the back room when we go over stuff, I don't like doing too much. I like saving all my energy for the fight, and yeah, I stay relaxed all the way up until the fight, and I hydrate good, I eat good, healthy, and yep.
All right, so let's talk about you making weight. This fight's at 160 pounds, right?
This one's gonna be at 158 pounds. Yes.
158. Okay, so it's at a catch weight. Okay.
Yes.
How's making the weight for you? Was it easy? Was it a little bit of difficulty?
Making weights for me is always easy. I never have problems with weight. I've never missed weight. I'm already on weight right now, ready to weigh in for tomorrow. I just don't like normally the fight week. I like being on weight already, so I don't have to like kill myself to make weight.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I got you, man. One thing that's got to be very frustrating is when your opponent comes in and they're overweight, and now either the fight's off or we got to renegotiate something or anything of that sort, man. I know you as the fighter, you probably don't think much about that. Your team probably handles that. How would you guys handle that, man? Because this guy's been out of the ring for a minute.
I'll just have to what talk to my manager, my dad, and whatever they think's the best option for me is what we'll have to do. But yeah, going back to the weight, um, I normally fight at 154, so for me, this fight is no problem making 158. And the
Okay,
last fight was at 162, so
right,
I've been feeling good.
right. The fight that you had against Vargas Jr.
Yeah.
Okay. So the big thing, the big story here is that ever since you fought Vargas Jr., which a lot of people thought you actually won the fight, right? Which started people started talking a little bit more and saying like, "Hey, man, you need to run it back with this Lobito kid because a lot of people think you beat him, right?" Um, Ever since then, it's been somewhat of a storyline. And now here we are. And the big story in all of this is that he's on this same card that you're
Yeah.
fighting in tomorrow. He's actually main eventing this. So, is there some sort of connection that you know of? Say, like, if he's victorious tomorrow, if you're victorious tomorrow, maybe there's some negotiation. I remember you told me that they basically didn't respond to anything. They didn't respond to you. They didn't respond to your dad. They didn't respond to any of your team. Well, now you guys got them right there, right in front of you. So, is there any glimpse of hope? Is there any talk of like, well, both of you guys handle your business, maybe we can get something going?
Most definitely, I would just like when they first posted the flyer of this fight, he started talking on the comments, and like I didn't even say nothing to him or nothing. Like he started running his mouth on the comments. So um we'll see if he has that energy this weekend. But but yeah, I would love to run it back, just like he said after our fight. But we'll see if he still has that same energy.
Okay, okay. Because I that to me personally, man, that rematch has to happen. Like I don't want, and by the way, I want to make it clear, I got nothing against the Vargas family. I think Emiliano is a really good boxer. Fernando, he's doing what he does. But to me, I don't want this fight to ever get forgotten, because it's like, no, man, there's an asterisk right there. You know, Lobito winning there, and a lot of people, including myself, believe that you actually truly won that fight. And when it's called for the rematch, it's like you're just gonna ignore the dude. Like, no, man, come on. So that's why I think there's the big story here is that both of you guys are on the same card
Yep.
Saturday night. Now you're not the co-main event. You're right before the co-main event.
Yeah, and I think the guy I'm fighting is also from Vegas too. So that's also interesting.
Okay. Okay. All right. So it's gonna be interesting just for you guys to be under the same roof. And
Yeah.
hopefully, like I said, if you take care of business, brother, if he takes care of business, he's fighting a guy, Gonzalo Correa. He's got a record of 23-7. That's gonna be a test for him. Your guy, Brian Flores, he has a record of 19-2. He only has two losses, man, in his 21 fight
Yeah.
career. So, he's somebody to take pretty serious, man. So, hopefully both of you guys can take care of your
Yeah.
business, and hopefully we could get that rematch sometime later on this year. That's definitely, I think that will
Definitely.
definitely be a much bigger story than the first time you guys fought. So, is that something that you're still interested in? Is that still something that you're pursuing? I know it's one fight at a time, but eventually, is that something that you still want?
Yeah, most definitely. I would love to run that fight back. That fight would be a big fight for me again,
Even if it, even if
especially
it
with
need,
a good amount of training, like a good fair camp where with a 154 pound weight, not 160. That would be perfect. Because he says he's
okay.
a 154 fighter too, so that would be perfect.
Would you not I don't want to get fighters distracted from the fight that they got coming up, but would you go back to 160 if he says that's where it needs to be?
Yeah, most definitely. I I'll be great at 160 as well as 154.
Right. Okay. Okay, got you, man. So, I was looking at your opponent this weekend, man, Brian Flores, right? Now, you got a pretty cool
But
nickname, Lobito, right? Like
yeah,
Lobo. But you're young, so it's Lobito. I dig the nickname. Uh your opponent, man. His nickname is La Rata. I just no disrespect to him, but You know, if my sons were fighters and they wanted their nickname to be La Rata, I'd just be like, man, you know what? Just retire, brother. Before you even start fighting, La Rata is really not the way to go, man. But what are you expecting from your opponent, Brian Flores, this weekend?
I'm expecting a good, tough fighter. I think he's gonna also come to win as well. Uh, but I'm sticking to my plan and taking the win at the end of the night.
Okay. Yeah, I just that the nickname when I saw that, I'm like, oh man, La Rata. That's so many other names, so many different other animals that you can choose other than that, man. But he went with La Rata. So all right, let's go, man. So this is gonna be happening in Long Beach at Thunder Studios. You fought there before. That's where you
Yes,
fought Vargas, is it not?
yes.
Okay, what's the atmosphere there like?
The atmosphere there, it's a good sized venue, not too big. But the crowd is pretty big. The crowd, it gets really packed, and it's a good crowd. They're interactive with the fights.
You know, I've never been to that venue, but I've been to very small venues, like little small bingo halls or even high school gymnasiums, and they just, throw chairs in there. I've been to venues like that, and those get so damn rowdy, man. Like because you're like right there in front of the action, you could hear the hits. Dudes get all rowdy, man. They're yelling at the fighters, they're yelling at the ring, and it's definitely a different experience, man. So when you're in there, do you feel the energy from the crowd?
When I'm in there, I every now and then you'll hear like certain stuff in the crowd, but I'm focused on the fight, and like uh the the energy sometimes gives me more energy too to keep fighting and make it an interesting fight, like a good fight.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I had a YouTube fight against another YouTuber in a boxing ring at a boxing gym, and I couldn't listen to any instructions that my corner was giving me, but I could hear just the crowd there just yelling. I couldn't make out any words or anything, but I could just feel it's a weird, it's kind of this weird thing. You're tunnel vision, but you do just hear noise, but you can't,
Yeah.
you're not even trying to make out what anybody else is saying, but you do definitely feel the energy, man. Hey, Lobito, man, you work, you train, you're trying to get fights. Um, you're a little bit more on the map now. How much is this fight meaning to you, man? Is this kind of like, now you're getting more and more attention? Is it a little bit tougher for you to try to stay focused and saying like, okay, I don't want the attention to, derail what I'm doing? It's the attention is good because you want people to
Yeah.
see you and get to know you and watch your fights. At the same time, some fighters can get distracted by it, man. Is it becoming a little bit of a distraction for you, or are you pretty deadlock in focused?
No, not for this fight. I've been focused, locked in 100%. Since the last fight, the Vargas fight. Right after the fight, right away I wanted to go to the gym. Um, I started strength and conditioning right away after, and I've been a lot more focused. If anything, I got more motivated after the last fight because of what I did on a 1 day notice, and
Mhm.
it just made me more motivated and more hungry and more happy with myself.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, heck, I was proud of you, man. I was proud of
Thank
you.
you.
I never even talked to you. I was just like, man, you know what? This kid showed up. He didn't, a lot of fighters would have just shown up just to get the paycheck and take the loss. But I was like, this kid's not in there for that, man. This kid is in there to win, and winning you were. So, man, I tip my cap off to you. So, all right, man. Not the thing of last time when you fought Vargas. Not that you're fighting him this Saturday. You're fighting Brian Flores, but Vargas is going to be on this card. The thing about that time around, it was kind of buried a little bit. There was some bigger fights going on. You had Jaime Munguia fighting that night. You had a few more of the fights. This time around, Lobito, there's actually not much going on in the boxing world, man. I mean, you got a couple of things going on early in the day across the pond in the UK, but as far as Saturday night goes, you guys are pretty much the star of the show, man. Do you think about that at all?
Um, I don't really think about it too much. I'm more focused on the fight, but a couple of people have told me that there's gonna be a lot more eyes on this weekend because there's not too many of the fights going on.
Mhm. Yeah,
So I'm just
yeah, man.
excited I'm excited to get in the ring and put on a good show.
Yeah, man. And I told you that last time. I was like, you know what? Not too many people really knew about that fight because there was a lot of other, big name fights going on. This
Yeah.
time around, man, it's Saturday night's pretty empty when it comes to boxing. It's pretty empty. So yeah, the spotlight will be on you guys, man. So and you always bring it, man. You know what? So I'm very excited. My sons are gonna come down with their cousin. We're gonna fire up the barbecue grill. We're gonna be checking it out, man. So it's gonna be a good time. That is on the Zone, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Promoted by Marv Nation, and Lobito will be on the card. And that's like I said, the exciting thing about this is that Vargas Jr. will be on that card as well, man. So that's gonna be some good stuff. But Lobito, brother, you know what? I don't want to take up too much of your time. You got the weigh-ins tomorrow. That might be a little bit interesting, right? Because you're going to see Fernando Vargas Jr. there weighing in as well, man. Keep your emotions intact, brother. It's all about the prize. And think about Brian Flores one thing at a time. And we'll definitely 100% be rooting for you. But before we go, Carnal, any last words, brother? Any shout outs? Anything that you want to say to anybody, man?
I want to give a big thank you to all the people that support me, everyone that's helped me since I was a young amateur up until now. Thank you to my manager, South Central Boxing. Uh, Thank you to you for having me on the podcast. Thank you so much, and that's everything.
And if you guys want to know more about Lobito Gonzalez here, like I said, we didn't really get into it because I had interviewed him earlier this year. You guys go to the comment section. I'm going to pin a link there. That's where we get into his life and how he got into boxing. I just didn't want to do the same interview again. We just wanted to go on and promote this fight. And glad to see you that you're getting a fight. Glad to see that you're getting back into the ring. And very excited to see that both of you guys are on the same card. And hopefully both of you guys handle business, man. And we could get that rematch that I think everybody's looking forward to, man. Because that's that needs to happen. But Lobito, brother, thank you so much. Shout outs to you. Shout outs to your pops. Shout outs to your team, man. Hope I can almost guarantee you guys did a great job and you guys are ready to rock and roll for these weigh-ins tomorrow, man. And fight night Saturday night. That is on the Zone, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I will be watching. We'll be barbecuing. I'm excited, man. I can't wait. I'm excited for you as well, man. But go get this victory, brother. Yeah. Nothing against Brian Flores, but we're rooting for you, Carnal. Go get this victory, brother. Go get it, man.
Thank you.
And that we'll end it right there. Should have had this ready. There we go. All right, man. Hey, you guys check out my boy. Oh, where could they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Jesse Lobito Gonzalez. Same thing with YouTube and TikTok.
There it is, man. Go support a guy that is entertaining in the ring. What are you guys doing, man? You guys are over there spending money, watching dudes with high-profile names run around the ring, no action, not throwing any punches. Man, drop all that, man, and go support a guy that comes to fight and brings it and comes to win regardless of anything, all right? So there you guys have it, man. That is Lobito Gonzalez, Cholo Trucklos, Tres Chingones Boxing. Shout out to all the chingones and chingonas. Catch you guys on the next round.